right. Good morning, guys. Chat's popping off before we even started. It is a banging day for the markets, just like usual. We're going to start off with some market breakdown here, guys. We do a giveaway every single stream, $50,000 account from MavenTrading.com. Well, this is a Maven Trading event, and we've got Emma missing today. She's out doing other things, and so we're going to continue without her. So that being said, that means it's going to get a little bit more reckless. She usually monitors the chat log for us, right? And so Ryan and I, we're just going to be picking out of the chat. Now I see the chat right over Ryan's face, so I think I misplaced that on stream there. So if you guys want to see your name on top of Ryan's face, make sure that you send all those pings out. Somebody in chat's going to get a $50,000 account here today. And let's start with the breakdown, and then we're going to be diving into what the hell's a prop firm, right? Ryan, you're gonna be handling that. Okay, let me start with the market here. All right, starting off with Bitcoin. Okay, higher time frame on Bitcoin, guys. We've been calling this for a while now that we were going to see a flash crash, right, on these past months, right? When you look at the monthly candles, that's what gives us the big picture. Every single time I have to reiterate this to you guys, that the monthly candles are the only thing that matters, all right? So we saw that flash crash there. We bought up these levels right from the left side there, and it looks like we have that really beautiful monthly close going to be happening here in a couple days, guys. We've got the 27th now, and so just 4 more days of the month before that candle closes. This can be really, really unlikely that that's going to close bearish, right? That being said, weekly candles, a little bit of a pullback. Daily candles, a little bit of a pullback. No need for concern. Anything below the daily candle is absolutely ridiculous to look at here, but we would suspect a bounce off of this area. We want to make sure that the bulls really hold that. If you're looking at the lower time frame for me is the daily. Okay, we've got a cat joining us here, if you can see there. Okay, guys, so we'll join into S&P here. We'll jump into S&P here. S&P, guys, just the same as Bitcoin, super strong. I believe the NASDAQ also following a similar trend. There is the pullback back to these previous highs. Now the NASDAQ is rejecting off of that small little breaker candle right there. I believe that's what people call these candles, breaker candles. Everyone's got their different terminologies, but that little spinning top type thing there, that is a point of resistance. It doesn't look like the NASDAQ is showing much strength beyond that level. So NASDAQ a little bit bearish. We can see closes back below here and the rejection off that level. So I suspect some further downside on the NASDAQ before we continue the upside. S&P is much stronger though. Like I said, much stronger. S&P is the one you want to be in. Tech stocks, maybe not so much. All right. Dow Jones tends to do the opposite lately of the NASDAQ. And once again, it is doing the exact opposite. We were super bearish before. Now we're super bullish. This is probably the best traditional chart to be in right now. Guys, do you think gold's going to be any different than it always is? No, it's the exact same. It always is. Okay. Super excited on gold. You could look at gold at any point in the last decade and say the exact same thing. It goes up slowly. Okay. That's all for the market breakdown. Gold. You guys want to see more gold. Gold. Okay, guys. So if you have any questions as we go, you can pop them up on stream or on the chat. We'll see them on stream there. This is I can't read this quickly though, guys. So you guys are going nuts. Thank you for all the love and support, guys. Okay, let's get rid of this. Back to our faces. Ryan's the unfortunate one that has to have the chat on top of him.
I can't see that, but I think I look fine. I can't see a chat on me.
You can't see the chat? Am
the chat's to the right of me, so I can see my beautiful face just fine.
Oh, it's switched on the other side. Okay. I wonder who's actually being presented to the audience here with the chat. Okay. Okay. So let's start very basics. Some people might be coming into here. You know, what is a prop firm, right? A prop firm. A lot of people don't even understand what the word prop means. What the hell does a prop mean? Like, are you supporting something? You're proposing something? No. It's what's the word here, Ryan? It slipped my mind right now.
I mean, really,
Proprietary.
it's an educational platform
Yeah.
that people come and use to develop a craft with the old idea with the intent to graduate from that and then have an account with your own capital where you're trading and learn. I think that the industry in itself and prop firms in itself or in themselves have evolved to actually be a little more dominant than that. And so I don't think that, 2 years ago we would say, come and develop things and then, you know, go on and, get funded, make your payout, go on into your own capital. I think now people are starting to realize there's a place for prop firms even after that. Um, Everybody has like a speculative piece, a highly leveraged piece of their portfolio, the risk and the reward equation, right? And I think going forward, the prop firms are going to have allocations to everybody who's smart, who's intelligence portfolio. So, yeah,
Yeah, lovely. So to dive a little bit into the history of this, the word had slipped my mind, but the word is proprietary, right? And the original meaning of the prop firm was actually something completely different. What's currently going on in the new age is more of a evaluation type firm, as Ryan was kind of diving into here. But a prop firm originally was more of a physical location where traders kind of bought desk space and they traded all together, and then the firm itself would use the traders' data to then create a large hedge position, I suppose, of all these various traders, and they would use proprietary knowledge and proprietary algorithms to balance that trade data. Okay. Now, the same sort of thing can be said with the idea of A and B booking. Okay. So A and B booking, the idea is proprietary. So we don't tell you what percentage of your trades are being sent to the market. Now, generally, it's pretty dang risky to send trades to the live market. So that is something for a whole nother day.
yeah.
But that's the word of proprietary, right? A lot of people don't even understand what a prop means, right? So it means that you don't get to know if your trades are on live market or not, right?
Well, and it also means that I mean the very definition of proprietary is basically internal. It's not a public strategy. So what prop firms do, smart prop firms do with data and with A booking, B booking, that each person has or each firm has their own model, and you can see obviously that there's a lot of models that don't work, that haven't worked.
Yeah.
We feel like we've cracked the ideal model at Maven. And I think that what you've witnessed this year is the development of that. I think it's kind of it's showing on a monthly basis. We're getting stronger and stronger as time goes on. Whether firms are getting stronger, other firms are getting weaker, it doesn't matter. Our model is working for us and working for the traders that we have, and we continue to evolve and become stronger and stronger, literally on a daily basis.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's quite a balanced team here at this point. That's we're in a really, really beautiful position, and it's not always been like that for prop firms in the space. Now, the new age of prop firms. Let's get rid of this off of the screen there. I know you guys are all screaming about how much you love Maven there. I got to get it off the screen, or it's distracting me and taking me off.
Yeah, just so you guys know too, just a comment real quick. So we're gonna randomly pick the 50K at the end, so no one needs to comment. Please give me a 50K. What we're looking for right now is any type of great questions that you guys might have that we're looking to have and convert these where you see a lot of firms are kind of using things like this. They use it as more of a marketing type thing. We're looking to just add value and give you information and so on. So any great questions that you guys have, I'm literally got a pen and a piece of paper in front of me. I'm going to write them down, and Hunter and I will answer them at the end.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. That's yeah, I'm getting distracted by all of these pings coming in here.
There's a lot, yeah.
And it's beautiful, guys, when you have really, really wise questions. That's what makes me happy, even more so than all of the love. Wow, that's a tongue twister there. Okay. So the transition of the traditional markets. Now, Ryan is a little bit more of an expert of the old age of trading markets. Now he comes from the hedge firm space, right? And so Ryan, brief rundown of how your experience with the traditional style markets and how the new wave is coming in here. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people know that I was more on the institutional side. I ran a little over $5 billion in assets total. I got to a point that I felt what I was doing was too institutionalized, meaning that individuals didn't really stand a chance in the world I was in. They just didn't. So I kind of gave it up. I became a real estate developer. I did some other things. But I always wanted to get back into it. And when I discovered prop firms, this is definitely a model that's geared towards helping people, changing people's lives. I mean, you can see all kinds of stuff on the internet, and you can read whatever you want to read. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have the opportunity to develop a skill, and if you develop that skill, you can earn a lot of money, and you will get paid. And that's the simplest way. People can talk about, the percentages of people that fail or this, that. That's the same in every business. I think it's so bizarre when I see posts like that only so many percent of people become funded. Well, how many percent of people that go to play blackjack win? How many percent of people go to, do whatever win? I mean, that's the model of every business there is. I mean, it just is what it is. And the cool thing with this is it's not gambling. It's not like going to roll a slot machine. If you actually develop that craft and you actually become a skilled trader, you have the chance to consistently get paid. And that's awesome. I mean, that's a huge thing. And we have traders that have gotten tons of money consistently, and they consistently do. You see all of our payouts daily. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's a life changer potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting seeing that everything used to be a traditional dynamic, a institutional dynamic rather, and that's the world you came from. And now you're seeing, your average Joe on the street with a credit card that somehow got enough credit to pay with a credit card, right? And then you can just tap with $19 instead of having to apply for all of these big bank hurdles, right? And having to prove yourself, give all your verification beforehand, set up a bank account, right? And then ultimately have a whack load of money, right? And it's much more retail now, which is the huge shift we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where Maven's kind of coming in is a lot of these prop firms are geared towards people who are already traders, right? Maven really wants to dive down the route of teaching you guys, even in the spaces and things like this. So if you guys have spaces discussions that you want to actually go into, you can send them to us on Discord. There's no link in the description. It's discord.gg/Maven. Okay. If you want to go to Discord, you can chat with us there. We do these streams every single Tuesday as well, 9:30 a.m. PST. So a lot of questions coming up here that I've seen popping up about money. Okay. And that's what matters. That's what business is all about. And every single person, right, that is curious about how the money works here. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but they're confused in how prop firms work for some reason. Okay. How can you pay your traders? How can you rely on paying your traders, right? And it really comes down, like, if you think about it like a business, right? It's a very simple thing. You need to make profit. Okay. That's how you pay your traders. That's how you pay your expenses, your vendors, your traders, your staff, right? All of these things, you need to have higher revenue than your expenses. And for some reason, it's a really confusing thing for people to understand in the prop firm world, because a lot of people say, okay, well, are you A booking or B booking? Are you copying all the trades? And at the start of the stream, I said, it's pretty dang risky to copy people's trades directly. What you can do is you can create some sort of algorithm, but ultimately to go and sift through each person is a very, very daunting task and very, very risky, because those people could blow up actual money, right? So a large portion of a prop firm owner, prop firm executives, and the board of directors that we have here is to devise mechanisms that allow us to have a steady stream of revenue and a steady stream of cost, right? And why I'm saying steady is because we need to make sure our variance is very, very low, okay? A lot of prop firms, guys, they don't manage their variance, okay? And this is why we've seen a winter, a prop firm winter, okay? Where all of these firms are going under. Everyone keeps asking, why are firms going under? Is Maven safe? Is Maven safe? This is why Maven is safe, is because we have basically no variance, right? Every single day is the same thing, okay? And we know with our data, it's super strict, right? And that's how it works. Money in, money out. And then we have a reserve of extra money as well that we can then allocate that reserve of money to where we can invest it somewhere, essentially kind of becoming like a hedge fund now. We can copy with some traders, we can create algorithms from other traders, and then mitigate our risk. We operate on the basis that we're going to be profitable off of just revenue. But then we have this pool of money that we also keep adding to, right? That we can then act as a hedge fund eventually, right? And that hedge fund uses some traders, uses some crypto, it uses some of Ryan's astrology predictions, right?
I think,
Sometimes we bet at the gym who can bench more. It's always Ryan.
yeah, it's always me. I mean, my arms look pretty good in this stream always. So,
Is that why you're crossing them?
yeah, well, no, they just I mean, it's not like I'm flexing; they just flex without being
Yeah.
flexed.
Okay. You're trying to
I,
find your
I
new wife
do
and
think
stream or what?
that I think that that is a good point. Like one thing that prop firms, everybody's trying to do is to monetize the data. We have all this great data, and I think there's not very many firms that are in extremely healthy conditions like we are, and going forward, that's something that we want to do. We actually want to be able to utilize that data, the data that we have, and trade, our own money and things like that. And that'll just be better for everybody when that happens. But that's the probably end game goal with all of this. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to do anything foolish at the same time, and kind of chance our position where we're at. I mean, we're in an extremely healthy position. I've talked about this a lot where you just were talking about it. Like you want your prop firm to be healthy. Healthy prop firms that are profitable mean you're not getting denied payouts, you're not getting delayed payouts, and prop firms are, we're not looking to stand in the way of someone in their payout. We want them to get the money. That's why we do it so damn fast. And we want to continue to be in that position, and we will be. But I think you're talk about the expenses and being no variance. I mean, we could easily, you guys, we the five of us live in 3 different places, right? We could easily go get badass office spaces, and all that kind of stuff is kind of an ego thing. And we could do it. We could easily do it, and it wouldn't affect us at all. But the 5 of us see that as spending money that, whatever, 3 weeks of payouts, 4 weeks of expenses, whatever it is. We're very conservative. And I've said this before, we're in a super ultra high risk industry, but we operate extremely conservative for that industry. Most people operate in a high risk way in this industry. We don't. We're very conservative. We're anti-risk.
An interesting segue to this question that I thought was kind of interesting here. Can you explain? Can you please explain, sir, how confident that you are Maven is going to be number one? Going exactly off of what Ryan just said, we are risk adverse. We don't want to be number one. We want to be reliable. Okay. To be number one would mean to take massive risk, right? To put large portion of our revenue into just crazy marketing, ridiculous strategies, right? Things that could blow up in the end, right? I would rather have very thin margins, pay our traders, and then grow slowly. Okay. The only way that Maven could ever be number one is by outlasting everyone. Okay. And that's kind of the motto that we've been going down. And there are firms that I don't think that they will collapse, right? They've shown the test of time over the 10 years. So it is possible to last forever. Okay. And Maven's going to be one of those. And we're not shooting for number one. We want to be your best friend that helps you on your way to profitability. You know, that's our goal. We're not trying to be the biggest and baddest, okay? And that's kind of the vision that we all kind of share. All right. Okay. Hunter is gonna sorry, Maven is gonna be number one. I'm seeing that everywhere here. Yeah. Okay. We'll be humble about
I
it.
think it's interesting. I see a lot of questions on the fastest payouts and that kind of thing. I think, Seb has been, he's done a great job with the payouts and things. Now, as I think, get bigger and bigger, people's concern was, is that going to slow or whatever? And then enter me, right? So, not that I'm doing payouts like he's doing, but Seb was doing basically anything exiting as an expense he was doing. And now Seb is basically focused just solely on payouts, and I'm doing all of the expenses and the payouts and things. So it's a good mixture, and that's why we continue to do these payouts and things so quickly. I mean, we did a payout the other day, and I don't even know what it was. Like less than a couple minutes or something. Like insane. And we've done some really big ones as well quickly. So yeah, I mean, that will continue. And the second where we get to the point where we're getting even bigger and bigger, we'll adjust and I'll start doing some of them as well, whatever it has to be. But what you guys are accustomed to, I think is what we want to continue. And I'm a big believer in, like Hunter just said, the quality is much more important to us than the quantity. And the quality of our firm is everybody, no matter when, what time zone, etc. They come into our firm, they come into Maven. We want them to have the same experience, a great experience from start to finish. And that's what our goal is, as a leadership team.
I'm seeing some really, really interesting questions here from by Lala FX. If Maven were to have an office pet, which animal would best represent Maven? What do you think?
I mean, I always got to go with the lion because that's my animal. But
The lion, hey?
Lion, because lion is, there's all kinds of good characteristics: loyalty, courage,
family, protection.
There's just lion has there's a lot of good analogies that you can equate there. But
It
I mean, you can also
ugly,
equate
but,
that to maybe a tiger because they're orange. Tiger has a lot of the same characteristics, but it's orange.
I like the lion. The lion makes a lot more sense, hey?
I like it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Maybe a lion. Yeah, thanks for that question, by Lala. Yeah, I think you guys asked a couple more here that are actually these are pretty nice questions. I like these. These are the type of questions we want to hear, guys. Okay, so what sorts of efforts is Maven making to build a community among its traders and benefit the traders, right? And there's another question regarding educational programs that you asked as well, mentorships. We don't offer any paid mentorships. Or unpaid actually currently. We are working on some content that we can give you. We do have blogs on the website where you can kind of learn the basics. That's more for like SEO type stuff, but there is some information on there. What I want to do kind of now that I'm more involved with the community here is, one, we're running these spaces. First of all, you're currently in one of the mentorship programs, right? It's just not exactly trading related. And we will be doing more trading style stuff as well. I'm going to be hopefully doing that sort of stuff in October. And then I want to be launching some sort of free package educational booklet thing that we can give everyone to kind of segue them, start offering free programs for traders to have boot camps and whatnot, so that they can actually learn and then apply their skills on Maven, right? And there won't be anything paid. It'll all be free. Community-based things. In terms of community building, we have, again, spaces. We have Twitter. We have Discord, all of that jazz. We have tons of stuff that you guys can communicate with us. We have even a Discord hangout session on Thursdays at noon PST for 3 hours. So that's 3 p.m. your time, Ryan. It's just a dedicated time that I sit and chat and I talk to all you guys. There's a few guys in there. The one guy's name is fired watermelon or fried watermelon, and we get along super, super well. He's always there waiting for me when we get there. So it's a good way to bond with your community and learn the problems and the ins and outs that you might be concerned with, right? Okay. So let's go back on topic a little bit here. The kind of final thing that we want to touch on here, and before we can just dive into a couple more questions, is how did the traders get their payout? Okay. Now, what I was talking about before is traders can get their payout from the reserves that the company has. Okay. And those reserves build up over time from sales, from investments, from hedging against different things, right? So they might have some sort of hedge algorithm that balances their wallets a little bit safer, right? Or they could be creating some sort of algorithm that trades with the traders or against the traders or whatever they do, right? I don't know every single platform. I'm talking in a general sense, right? Generally, mostly everything comes from sales, right? That's pretty much across the board, okay? But you can add to it with other means. The more money you have, the better, okay? So why did all of these firms collapse? Well, it's a very simple fact. If they're delaying payouts, they have no money. There's no other reason to delay payouts. It's not like, hey, I'm stuck on a flight and you can't get paid till tomorrow or whatever. It doesn't make any sense, right? There's always somebody to make the payout. We are very large companies, right? There's not one person that runs the thing, right? Ryan, you even mentioned this, right? If Seb's on a flight flying somewhere, you can just take over, right? We that's why we do our tip payouts in like an hour, okay?
Yeah, it's seamless here. There'll never be a gap with Maven, and I do think that's cause for there is cause from concern. I don't want to obviously talk negative at all because the industry I'm super bullish and positive on. What I would just add to that is just be very mindful of who you select that you want to do business with, right? Do your research like you would in any other product or instrument that you buy in the world. And all the information is right there. You can very clearly see what prop firms are strong and what prop firms that you might want to shy away from. And I'm not going to say any specific firm. If it was me, I would want to gear myself towards the strong firms that are healthy. And we are definitely in that upper echelon of firms. And and we will continue to be.
So we did talk about Ryan's background here. This guy keeps asking, how much experience I have trading. I've been trading since technically 2013. I got into Bitcoin 11 years ago, took a break, obviously, and then seriously started trading in 2017. So I've been seriously trading for about 7 years, okay? I did Bitcoin first, and then I went to Forex. And that's how we really know what we're talking about, is we've basically been in this as long as we can, right? Ryan's from the institutional traditional markets. I'm from the crypto new age. A lot of us have a lot of experience in this market, right? And I do teach a little bit how to trade too on my channels and whatnot too. So hopefully I can help you guys that way. And then you can leverage Maven's platform to make some money for yourselves, because that's what we're in it for. We're all in this together, right? So anyways, back to the topic. So what's the next step? So a bunch of these firms collapsed, right? And they ran out of money. They made up some whatever excuse, right? Some people maybe made some excuses, right? But the reality is they ran out of money. Why? Okay, it's because they didn't manage their risk properly. Okay, the variance comes in, right? There are down months, right? Basically, a lot of people were operating on the basis that they had cash flow every single month. If you have a down month, now you can't pay your traders. Okay, you need to have a massive reserve. You need to be able to survive for 6 to 12 months without revenue, right? In order to continue to pay your traders, because that's the only way you can stay in business. You think, what if something happens, right? You need to be able to survive for 6 months. It's the same thing as if you lose your job, right? If you are an employee at a job and you don't have 6 months of reserves to live off of in case you lose your job, well, you're kind of screwed, right? It's the same logic we're going into. We need to make sure that we can survive over any situation, right? We have backups on backups, okay?
I think
Ryan,
that
where do you think?
it's important also to note with that part of the discussion how important it is to have a consistent leadership team that that spans a little wider than one or two people. A lot of the firms in the past that have went or have had issues, it's been like a one or two man show, and it's been like I said before, it's great when everything's growing and all this marketing hype and social media and everything's growing, but when something happens within the space, or there's some storm that happens, the perfect storm, a black swan event, whatever it may be, that model doesn't work any longer. The day that happens, it starts to deplenish each day after that, where uh, we're not in that situation. We're the opposite. I mean, we collectively make decision making. We collectively are all conservative. Nobody takes a ton of money here at all. I mean, everything is put back right now into the company, and that's why this company is so healthy. And that is why I've said before, if you're looking for a prop firm where you're going to get a payout, or you're not going to have issues or anything like that, give us a shot. And if you're already with us, you already know, basically.
All right. So wrapping it up here, what's your agenda with the prop firm world? And then we're going to do just maybe a couple questions here. Because this is kind of the end of the topic that I wanted to talk about. What's your agenda on the prop firm world? Where do we think this space is going? I think it's even going to be further uh, um, retail and further away from the institutional stuff, further away from the big banks. This is going to be a space for the average man. You know, it's going towards that trend. Brokers are going out of existence, right? Prop firms are becoming more and more popular. They're going to be a common name, and prop firms are going to be the way that people get into trading. Okay. It's so confusing elsewhere, right? If you remember the first day you got into trading, you're like, what the hell? What's a put? You know what I mean? I was like, there's shorts and longs, and then there's puts and what's the other one? I can't even remember what the other one is right now. But there was all these weird terms, and it made no sense. Like I thought a long trade meant that I held it for a day, and a short one was less than a day or something like that. It made no sense. So it was very, very confusing. So the whole point of the prop firm world is to ease you into it. This is my opinion. This is where it's going to be going. Ryan, how about yourself?
I think, again, I go back to my example where I really truly believe that these were thought of as educational platforms that people would use it's kind of a stepping stone, where now it's very obvious that it should be a slice of your portfolio. And I'm going to give you an example. We had a trader that just had a $10,000 account that got a $7,000 payout, 7,700. It was like 77%. But was it really 77%? Because the price of that account was like $40. That person spent $40 and got 7,700. That's more. That's not a 77% return. That's more like a 7,000% return.
The returns are insane.
So so if you talk about, like, I'm not even talking much, like you have your overall portfolio, you have your retirement, your 401k, all that. It would be insanely foolish to have access to this type of platform and allocate like 1%, even 1%. I mean, in that example, 1%, totally. $40 netted that person 7,700. I'm not, I mean, that's worth the gamble for me. Even if I was learning to trade, like you almost have to do that now. If you have access to that level of return based on that level of investment, you would be stupid not to do that. And so I think that a lot of people are catching on. A lot of demographics that aren't or have not necessarily been involved in prop trading are now taking account to it. And I think you're just going to see it expand, and it's going to be very positive going forward.
All right. And that being said, that's a beautiful way to end the stream here, guys. I want you to spark up the chat there with some love towards Maven. I'm going to pick a winner here on stream. We're not going to do any more questions. We've been answering questions throughout. Next week, Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. PST, we are doing psychology. I have a guest speaker coming, a psychology expert in the trading world. She's coming on, Luis. She's going to be teaching you guys how to manage your emotions, manage your trades properly, and become a better trader. After that, every single week, we're going to teach you something. So spark up that chat. Look at it go. Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah, she's awesome too. And you can see, if you guys want to kind of review her stuff beforehand, just go to the Maven Trading YouTube channel. She has lots of content posted on there. And we've also posted and tagged her on Twitter. So just maybe scroll back on the Maven page and you'll be able to follow her. She does some good stuff.
That chat's going wild, guys. Okay, so the winner of the giveaway is by Lala. Of course, you had some really, really beautiful questions. By Lala FX. Can't wait to see it. This is you right here. Okay. You literally just sent the you had a really, really beautiful question. Next week, again, psychology host. Get your good psychology related questions ready for her, because another person's going to be winning a $50,000 account. By Lala, go into the Discord, discord.gg/Maven. Right. Open up a ticket in there and then tag me. You're going to have to show proof that this is your account, of course. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
All right. See you guys. Hey, Hunter.
Yeah.
Nice fucking hat.
Hey, likewise. Okay. Ciao, guys.
All right. Bye.